Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advance. This is a game played between two legends, Mikhail Tal and Tigran Petrosian. It's actually a Blitz game from 1975 and it's a very short game but definitely a wild one. So without further ado, let's start with this game. Tal starts with e4, Petrosian goes for e6, d4, d5, we go into the French defense, normal variation. And there are a lot of moves you can play in this position. You can go for something like knight to c3, you can go for recaptures, but Tal tries to mix it up as he goes for knight to d2. We go into the Tarash variation of French. Petrosian continues in the same fashion as he goes for knight to e7. Knight to gf3, knight to d7, Tal goes for bishop to d3. And in this variation, you'll normally see something like c5, and that's exactly what Petrosian goes for, as he goes for c5. Now we see a trade in the center, e captures, knight captures, and Tal just simply castles. And now we go for a trade in center as Petrosian goes for c captures, knight to b3, and there was a game where bishop to e7 was played, but Petrosian just goes for knight to c5, and it's as a moves 8 that this position has never been reached again. And definitely it's going to get very wild from here onwards as Tal goes for bishop to b5 check, bishop to d7 blocking, and bishop captures on d7, queen captures. And here you can go for something like knight captures on d4. Once black goes for something like bishop to e7 preparing to castle, you go for this c4, and once the knight moves you can go for something like bishop to f4, and white is good in development and both players have equal chances in the game. But instead Tal goes for queen captures on d4, and Petrosian immediately jumps in with the queen as he goes for queen to a4. But this queen to a4 is not actually a good move by Petrosian, and Tal takes advantage of this in the right way as he goes for c4. And what is this? Your knight on b3 is actually hanging and you cannot recapture because your rook would hang, but that's exactly what Tal wanted as Petrosian goes for knight captures and Tal played a captures, and queen captures on a1, and Tal goes for c captures on d5. And Petrosian here can go for something like queen to a5, and after d captures, Petrosian has this very nice rook to d8, and after queen moves somewhere, queen to g4, black has this very nice defensive resource with f6, but white has this very nice attacking resource which is e7, and after bishop captures, queen captures on g7, rook to f8, and rook to e1, you get this position where black king is completely boxed in, and it's a very difficult position to hold, but that's the best that Petrosian has in this position. Petrosian instead goes for queen to a6, and now he gives Tal advantage and he goes for it as he goes for rook to e1, and Petrosian just simply castles thinking that there's no trouble in the position, but Tal goes for bishop to f4. F4 is not exactly a good move by Tal, and to take advantage of this is to play a move that Petrosian played, which is rook captures on d5, and after rook to c1 check, king to d8, and bishop to g5 check, you cannot block with the f pawn, and as after bishop captures, pawn captures, and queen captures, you'll just win the rook. So instead Petrosian goes for king to e8, and now even rook to c8 does not do the trick, because after king to d7 you just play this rook to d8 check and king goes to c7, and after you trade down, rook captures, pawn captures, you have to make room for your king in order to not get checkmated with g3, but now you just transpose into this very ugly looking endgame for you, and you're definitely not going to be winning in this game. So instead Tal goes for knight to e5, but this knight to e5 is actually a blunder by Tal, and the way to win the game on the spot is to find this bishop to c5, and now Tal has nothing in this position he can play. If you go for queen to a4 check asking for a queen trade, black will happily trade. Queen captures, pawn captures, and now the knight on e5 is hanging, and rook captures, and you're a piece down, completely losing. And if you try to give the exchange with the rook captures, you just get queen to a1 check. And now if you try to block, you just get queen captures on c1, and after bishop captures, rook captures, you get this endgame where it's two rooks against a knight and a bishop, completely winning for black. And if you go for something like queen to f4 hanging on to everything, you get this f6, and now you're definitely losing a piece. But instead, as it's a blitz game, you cannot find everything. Petrosian misses the idea and he instead goes for b6, but this just completely loses the game for him. So pause the video and try to find the best move for Tal in this position which wins the game on the spot for him, while I give you a couple of seconds. So congratulations to everyone who was able to find this move, and the move is actually queen to a4 check. That's right, moving the queen from the defense of the c8 square, and now if you go for this queen captures, you just get this rook to c8 check, and after you block with the rook, you get this very nice opera house check. And it was on this move, on move 20, that Tigran Petrosian resigned the game, and what a brilliant victory for Tal in this position. And winning a game against a player of Petrosian's caliber, that too in just 20 moves, definitely an insane miniature. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming up with another amazing game, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you all.